What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This is the Minecraft stack amount of blocks. This is, amount of parts. This is part 64, and in this one, we're going to be doing this whole room here, along with starting off the little final area of the chase before the grinder area. Just going to be getting this part of it done here, this, like, upper part. Anyway, yeah, that's all. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Find it funny because of the screwed up orientation somewhere or other, that this is the closest we'll ever get to actually being at that door like we should be. Anyway, a little bit unfortunate in that fact. Well, let's do this next room. If you, I guess, head inside the previous one, you want to start by getting out the following. Stone. It's always stone. Tough bricks. Deep slate tiles. Cobble deep slate walls. Cobble deep slate blocks. Andesite walls. Deep slate tile stairs. And what else? Is there one more material? Because I know we need gray concrete, but I want to have that, whatever. We'll just get gray concrete now and then save the 9th slot for something or other. So this 2x2 doorway right here, the floor in it you want to replace with stone to start off. You don't want to take, it should sound fairly similar. If you want to take each side around this doorway, including the stone and the floor and, the andesite on all 3 sides, and extend it backwards or out with 3 rows of stone. That's a little bit too high. There we go. And got this little walkway. How does mommy fit through this? I don't want to know. That's really a question I don't need an answer to. On the other side here, you'll end up at least squaring off the top 2 corners like so, and then bringing this up with 2 more rows of stone. And that'll end up being your ceiling height, but that's not really important yet. Yeah. From the, not the, like, floor stone, but this bottom stone, which would be the bottom layer of the walls, you'll go kind of out diagonally on both sides with a tough brick. You'll extend both sides again towards you by 5. Like so. Surround that 6 tough brick and andesite walls. Now, really what I mean is you're going to place an andesite wall on the inside, extend it towards you by 1, and then out by 1. Don't go any further than that because that just gets more complicated and screws things up. But, yeah. From the andesite walls here on the left, if you're looking at it, you want to place a cobbled deep slate wall. Extend this towards you with alternating walls and blocks, specifically 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a deep slate tile. Then, I believe it's 7? Yeah, 7 alternating walls and blocks. Again, the first one I say is the one you should start with. Then a deep slate tile. And then 7 more alternating walls and blocks of cobbled deep slate. Then a deep slate tile again. You will extend to the right, which is, I guess, towards the underside of that room. Sure, why not? But technically that's also up, so that's not the point. You want to go right with, what is it? 6 alternating cobbled deep slate blocks and walls. Deep slate tile. Then 6 alternating walls and blocks again. But you start with a wall that time. Deep slate tile. Then 7 alternating blocks and walls. And then a deep slate tile. The pattern should be consistent, actually. Basically, if you were to replace a deep slate tile with either a wall or a block, it would still be lining up. This deep slate tile then extend back towards the area we've been working from with, yet again, it should be 7 alternating walls and blocks. Deep slate tile. 7 alternating walls and blocks. Deep slate tile. 6 alternating walls and blocks. Deep slate tile. And then you'll be extending back towards the tough brick there with 7 alternating walls and blocks. Deep slate tile. 6 alternating walls and blocks. and then a deep set tile. That's the room size right there. The next step is going to be kind of a placeholder step. So, well, not the actual very next step, but we're going to get to a placeholder step in a second here. Underneath each deep set tile block, and I guess the outer perimeter walls, you're going to place more deep set tiles. You really just bring the deep set tiles down by one and bring them underneath all the cobbled deep set. That's not the part that's placeholder. I mean, I guess some of it is, but... And I guess I'll go one further for the point. These don't actually connect together here. However, wherever you have a deep set tile block that sticks up, you want to extend the block below it all the way across with deep set tiles, and it should connect into another one. And essentially, you're just going to kind of make a grid in the floor out of this. And they should all connect to another one, preferably. Like you see, if I bring this one forward, it'll connect into that one. And then if I bring this one over, it should connect into the only other one left. There's one reason this is a placeholder that I won't explain just yet, but it should give you a fairly evenly spaced floor, kind of. There are some sections that are larger, and it's not exactly perfectly even, but, you know, not everything's perfectly even, so it's okay. The middle four, or I guess around the center rectangle here, you'll bring these corners of deep set tile, the intersection points up by one as well. Then, really, every single wall material, you'll extend up by 4. Which is everything but the deep set tiles going across in the floor here. And that should make it the same height as the stone that we built up earlier. In case anybody needed to know that. And yeah. Did I say the thing? Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. I don't think I did. I remember saying it in the last part, which I think is why I'm thinking I had said it in this one, because I just recorded that one. What a world we live in, right? I also realized, fun fact of the day, I like, as of at least recording this, I'll probably end up, since we're almost done this, pulling more out, but I like do not have any city tutorials recorded, which is quite unfortunate, because I was scrolling through for something, because I was trying to figure out what the next one should be, and I was like, wow, it's just all Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. Well, I guess because also Bendy and Secret Neighbor are entirely scheduled, so I don't see those, which I think makes it feel shorter. And then, you know, a lot of this is scheduled, plus Granny 2, which would have already been done. Although I think by the point you're seeing, or by the time you're seeing this, all those would have been finished, so you're like, well, yeah. But it's July right now, and I was scheduling just like 2 September to be ready for Spirit to start. You don't realize, though, how much you really record these. Like, even if I spend a week and a half doing Bendy, for example, that's a week and a half of city tutorials that I'm not doing like I used to be. Even though I only upload 2 a week, still. That'd be 3 by that logic. I don't know. Just thoughts. I don't think I have anything privated either, do I? You know, I don't actually know. Hey, we're at the end. Would you look at that? So anyway, you should end up with this. Cool. It's time to bring in the reason I mentioned the placeholder. So, the center square. The deep set tiles on the edges, with the exception of where the pillars are, because that one doesn't actually really apply. But just the like flat rows here, you want to replace them with upside down deep set tile stairs facing towards the middle of this area. So when you're replacing these stairs here, you want to actually, for the side closest to the entrance point, you want to place deep set tile stairs facing right, just like regular ones here. Whoopsies. Regular ones here facing kind of towards this side over here. And then inside of those, you'll place the upside down deep set tile stairs. Only thing that ends up changing on the sides here is that these corners do need to be blocks, because when we bring them down, it'll work a little bit differently. But yeah, they won't be lined up with the pillars. That's fine. Don't really worry about that. Again, leave the pillars alone. You'll be able to see them, but it's fine. Like so. And And then everything else, you want to make sure you leave this center tile open, but every other tile you'll fill in with stone for the floor. God, I don't know why my voice keeps doing this. It was giving me problems last part, too. It is what it is, I guess. Anyway. And then... yeah, I don't know, we should be able to finish this room, hopefully, fully. Again, you would have known that by the intro if you watched it, but... I don't know. I'm not paying that much attention. So... I, like, don't have anything to say. There's nothing important to talk about here. Like, we're filling in a floor. What do you want from me? Okay, anyway. You should end up with this. Extend each deep set tile up by 1 and do the same thing where you connect them all at the ceiling with these squares. And also go over top the cobble deep set. And when you do the over top the cobble deep set, before I mentioned don't go over here, but you actually do want to cross over the, like, egg, or entrance point, I guess. Egg, over the egg, yes. And this will give you more of a square area that kind of, I don't know if it makes more sense, but it doesn't have a random spot in the middle like it did, so that is one step in the right direction. So from above, it should look like this. The portion that is not included is just stone for the ceiling in line with the deep set tile. This part is fun, though. I would recommend doing each corner at the same time, because none of these are the same, pretty much. But make sure none of them are weird at the beginning, and that they all are weird with the way they intersect in the center. Why is that one like that? That is beyond me, frankly. But I would take each corner within the squares and place gray concrete, and just bring them, like, diagonally in a little bit, and maybe do, like, 3 diagonals. And then you can kind of see how they need to connect. So you see if you end up with this, where you have the rows of 2 on either side, or just bring them together. Some will actually line up with it perfectly in the center. This is not that side, unfortunately. And I think there's a 2 somewhere as well. I don't know. This one might actually be the perfect lining up. Yeah, it is. Oh, no, never mind. It's 2 in the middle, yeah. So these should all be 2? Maybe? Yes. And then the center one is included this time. You can kind of see pretty much like what it's supposed to be once you get a little bit of it done. For some reason, this one I have like that. I think it's this one. It's one of the corners I have like a C shape in the center rather than filling it in perfectly. I don't think that was intentional, and if it was, I don't know what I was doing. But, yeah. Oh, this one... This one's the perfect one. There it is. I knew there was at least one square. I think this one should also be a square then as well. Could be wrong, though. Nope, I'm right. Cool. And then one more. And I doubt this one's a square. It does not look like a square. I think it's a 3 in the middle. Yeah, it is. Of course. You should end up with this. Same thing as before. If you know how to use /fill, you can fill in the ceiling with stone, the remainder of it. If you know how to do the keep command and whatever, because that's important. And yeah, it should look like this. Nice. Get out black concrete now, and we can do the section going down. So I would take the deep set tile blocks on the corner here and extend them down by, we'll say 11 within this middle square. Cool. Bring the upside down deep slate tile stairs down with regular deep slate tile stairs that should also face inward. Then off of the sides of each deep slate pillar, or deep slate tile pillar, just place cobbled deep slate blocks, kind of going under the stairs, which should look like this. You're then doing the alternating cobbled deep slate walls and blocks, and you know the drill from there, probably. And so yeah, as I was saying, they should line up perfectly on each side with the wall and block pattern. Nice. A little bit weird, but you know, that is sometimes what you get from these maps, I guess. And then you should probably know the next step. It's so crazy and so difficult and crazy that I would ever do such a thing. You're filling in a block below this in with black concrete for the floor. Again, like another pit, just further to prove my point. That is, I believe, the third in the last 3 rooms, since technically the furnace room did have one. It loosely applies as one, but it is still one, so you should end up with this. Next up. Lord, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm dying so much. Clear your inventory and get out the following. Polished tough stairs. Mangrove signs. Heavy core. Polished deep slate stairs. Polished deep slate slabs, which we will use as blocks. Polished deep slate walls. Dark oak fence gates. Dark oak fences. And we'll get the iron bars out of the way, why not? So, oh, I have a hole in my floor. First thing you want to do is start on this very end row here. And if you take the deep slate tile in front, you want to count just... Well, actually, there isn't one there, but you want to count back to the second stone behind it and place a polished tough stair facing forward. Behind it, one placing backward or facing backwards with a heavy core on top. Mangrove signs off these sides of the tough stairs will give you kind of a lever. As I mentioned, you can get rid of your mangrove signs and get out stone. And this front pillar here, deep slate tile, doesn't exist on the floor. Just since this is a walkway, I guess it doesn't have it. I don't really understand the logic, but you know. From where the heavy core is situated, you want to, or I guess the stair on it, you want to count back by 1 and left by 2 and place a polished deep slate stair facing forward. Behind it, a block and then a stair facing back. Off the right of this block, you want a dark oak sign. I'll get rid of the stone to grab it out and just place it off that block. Slab on top of that block. Left of the block, 2 walls and then another block. On top of and below this polished deep slate block, I'll place dark oak fences, and off of the sides of it, from the perspective of this part, you'll place dark oak fence gates. You will have to crouch where the fence gates are, but you want to place polished deep slate walls off the side of the fence gates and on the top and bottom of the fences. The side walls you'll bring up and down by 1, and the top and bottom ones you'll extend left and right by 1. Then really on top of and below the dark oak fence gates or off the sides of the fences, whichever you prefer, you'll place more polished deep slate walls to finish off the little wheel. Just like so. At the front of the room, just off of the andesite walls here, we'll take this end and you'll place 2 iron bars off of each one, and then they'll extend all the way over, basically left to right in the room, like so. Clear your inventory and get out the following. Pale oak trapdoors. Pale oak button. Cobble deep slate walls, since we don't have enough of those yet. Stone brick walls. Levers. lightning rods, and cobwebs. If you want to do the cobweb texturing like I have been with the fences and glass pans, you can, but I'm not going to for the example here. Pretend like you leave this room, but also enter back in, because that makes perfect sense. And on the left wall, immediately, you want to take the third tough brick and place cobbled deep slate walls extending back. Specifically, 2 of them, like so. Above the first one, you'll place a pale oak trapdoor opened up against the wall. And then from that, count up by 2 and back by 1 and place a pale oak button there. Heading backwards a little bit, you want to take the, not the center panel, but the panel both right and left of it. And off of the, where you have the gray concrete, the center one here, you want to make sure you're 2 off of the center, because you only have 1 gray in the center there, and you have 3 here. But you want to place levers pointed towards the, like, center of the gray on both sides. Again, here it's 2 rows, and over here, just you'll have the 1 stone as well there, but it'll be like that. And then you can crouch and place lightning rods off the levers. I have them all just facing the same way, since there isn't a center. What's the point of trying to make them specific? But, yeah. Should give you this. In line with the levers here on the right side, just like on the actual right wall, you'll place a row of stone brick walls there. Heading backwards still against this wall, you'll place a row of stone brick walls off the deep set tiles here. Center wall, you'll extend forward by 2 and then up 2. On the back, you want to take the center row of cobbled deep set blocks of the 3 in this first panel and place walls off of it. Next panel over, you'll do the same with the center row of blocks. Next panel over, you'll actually turn to be on the left wall, and you'll take the backmost row of blocks. Next panel forward, you'll take the back row of blocks and place walls off the top 3. In front of that bottom wall, you'll place a pale oak trapdoor open up against that. Continuing forward, the back row of iron bars, you'll place stone brick walls connecting that back iron bar down to the ground. You do also want to replace that iron bar with a stone brick wall there. On the front wall, if you're looking at the wall, the left 2 cobbled deep slate rows will be stone brick walls entirely off of them. Next panel over, it's the center of the 3. The 2 panels that have the cobwebs are, if you're in this front, like the front right panel, it'll be just this one to your left here. You'll basically fill this in with cobwebs. And then the back one here, I would have it kind of sort of stringy a little bit. When I say stringy, I mean like having some gaps in it, like kind of like this almost. Try not to have like a 2-block gap you can fit through, I guess, but like, I think like that is fine, maybe. Just so it's not so many cobwebs, you know? Because like that just looks a little bit rough. And again, I think mixing in the glass pans and fences can give you a nice look overall. Something like that. You can't technically jump through that, I think. I mean, can't you make it through? You probably can if you time it right. No, I don't think so, because you hit the top one, not the bottom one. Anyway. Texturing in this room. I didn't texture the ceiling for some reason. Floor, you know the drill. I don't need to talk about that. The andesite walls on the walls are textured with tough walls. The tough bricks are textured with deep slate bricks. The cobbled deep slate is textured with polished blackstone. And the cobbled deep slate in the floor here has the rust again. So the rust in this one is the following. It is deep slate iron ore, packed mud, waxed weathered copper, I think. Wax exposed copper, my bad, not weathered. And then that is it for the blocks. For the walls, it is mud brick walls and granite walls. So basically, you're just going to kind of do a strip of these. And since you don't want to do it from top to bottom, you're going to break like a center strip. And you'll have the deep set iron ore on both sides, packed mud, and then it'll be like a copper in the center. And same thing with the walls, mud brick being on the outside and granite being in the middle. Just something like that. More iron ore is better, because I think the iron ore is probably the one thing that actually works very well here. Although you do want to make sure it doesn't stick too much further out, maybe like that or something. You have another row there, probably. Cool, something like that. And you just want that around, kind of those strips. from this point, that is this room done. Still with, I think plenty of time to spare. I lost track of the time, so this might get long. I apologize. You want to leave this area and head to this door right here. And before we actually do it, because I just realized that I still forgot the glow item frame, you want to, well, get that out along with diorite walls and black stained glass paints. Oh, that's why I use black stained glass paints. Yeah, I use them all the way in this chapter. Interesting. I noticed it in the school I was using black stained glass pans, and I didn't get why, but... Because I guess they look better anyway. The yellow terracotta at eye level here, you want to place a glow item frame off of. Left of it in the doorway, you'll place diorite walls on that half. Bottom and top ones, you'll extend left by one with a black stained glass pane in the middle. This room is definitely annoying. That's one way I would put it. Is it the good way? I mean, it's a way for sure. You want to get out the following. Stone... Bamboo trapdoors, polished tough walls, bamboo fences, bamboo fence gates, mangrove fence gates, mangrove fences, iron bars, and stone slabs. I just want to get them in the last slide. I waited so long for that. So, if you don't have stone blocks under your slabs, upside down slabs are fine. Those don't particularly matter, but I'm saying specifically the blocks like here. You want to make sure you add a row at least on the end. Where you have the upside down slabs, really the only thing is... you'll still bring them out with blocks, basically, but you'll have to take one row off. You'll see what I mean. Basically, you'll bring each stone block, which is either the, the blocks here or the ones that would be under these slabs, out by 3 rows. Now, again, when you do this, those upside down slabs, you'll just bring out with 2 blocks. Since it already has 1 out, so. It'll all make sense later, I promise. I know it's a little bit weird, but it should look like this. At the, very end here, you can bring the stone just down by 2 on this particular side so it connects into that final stone. And then I would bring it over for now, kind of to the left towards that hallway by 2 rows, which will stick 1 further than the stone in the floor. That's fine. On that first row? Yes, this first row here of the blocks entirely. You're going to place bamboo trapdoors opened. If you were to, start from this door going down, they're going to open to the right. So they'll diagonally touch this wall. Don't go against the wall there. You just want it, again, diagonally touch it. Like so. Is that one real? Wow, I spammed that really quick. Anyway. What we can do is... you should have 3 rows of tough bricks above the door. That is good. You want to place stone up diagonally towards you from it by 1. You then want to place... I'm going to say... alright, this is going to not make a ton of sense the way I'm going to do this. But you're going to bring this out with 7 stone. So it's a total of 8. The end 4, you'll place upside down slabs under. From those slabs, you'll go out with 8 stone. Final 4, you'll place upside down slabs under. And then from there, it should just be, I believe, 4 stone out. And then from that end, you'll go down with a block and then an upside down slab. This will end up spanning the entire distance of the room. So what you can actually do is just, go over... well, I guess this part will end up hitting this wall. So if you bring this stone up, you'll just kind of collide on that side. But this side, you'll just go 3 towards that wall from everything. And on the other side... well, I guess... okay, you want to make sure you're... since I didn't, I guess, specify specifically where... if it's 3 towards the wall and you have 4 here, then you would go an additional... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You go an additional 10 over. So the total of the ceiling length should be 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like so. And again, since we already have the one wall marked, it should make that a little bit more understandable. And you want all the blocks and all the slabs and everything. Some of the blocks at the top won't be used, although they do matter for lighting. If you don't have a giant floor over this like I did on the original. But actually, I think I added that after Chapter 2 was done. Yeah, Placo Forest was after. Oh, Placo Forest was something else, now that I'm really, like, remembering it. Like, man, that was one of the builds of all time. Anyway, yeah. We'll try to get a lot of the, like, rough details in here. At least to begin this room, and then we'll just deal with it more later. This room is probably one of the weirder ones left. Other than the bay room is the worst. I don't think that's really a question. I think that'll probably take 2 parts on its own. But, we'll see. So, oh wait, we're on Minecraft Stack of Parts. I just realized that. I, like, just don't even pay attention to the part number anymore and just record. But I'm like, trying to map it out, because it'd be... This will be 65 and probably 66. Maybe the hallway will also be in 66. Yeah, I think it'll be around 70. Like, in that rough range. I really missed an entire row. That's embarrassing. Oh, wait, never mind. I just did it for half of it for some reason. It's always good. And I guess I'll bring this stone a couple rows down. Or, like, 1 row down there. Cool. We don't need the wall yet. That's actually not important for a while. Don't ask why. It's not important. The next row over from the bamboo trapdoors anyway, you should be able to take either side, and if you leave a gap of 1, you're just going to keep placing rows of polished tough walls every other block that'll connect up into the ceiling. If you have a slab in your way, you'll break that top slab and just, you know, bring the tough wall up another block, and it should connect into the stone we would have just placed. And yeah, it'll line up nicely, I think. Well, kind of nicely. I don't know what these are. I don't know what any of this is. I want to know. I need answers. Please, give me answers. I want answers. Where the floor goes up each row here, on the next spot, you want to place just like before it, so like you see it goes up, it would go up there. Just this block, this final stone, you'll place 3 bamboo fence on top of. You only need to do it twice. You'll actually also place 2 bamboo fence at the very end here against the wall. There. The stone wall, I guess. And then you'll place 2 bamboo fence gate rows, which you'll have to crouch to place the top one, of course. But on top of each stone, and this should just connect a little fence nicely here. Cool. One minor thing is, where you have these stone slab rows, you can actually... This is an optional thing. If you like it this way, it's fine. But I actually did end up placing these stone slabs between the polished tough walls where they would have been brought through. Which is just 4 of them. It looks a little weird. I'm not sure why I did it, because I think it made more sense to smooth it out there, or just, you know, whatever. But I did it that way, so I figured it should be in the tutorial that way. Between each set of polished tough walls, you're going to place a mangrove fence. Now, if you have a stone slab, don't destroy it. Just place it off of the underside of the upside down stone slab. Like so. You should have 8, I think. Yes, that is correct. If they do have a stone slab above them and they're floating, you do want to break the stone slab now and replace it with a mangrove fence. We do that after because we want to make sure that we get the height of all of them the same as we do this next part. You will then go in either direction from each one with a singular mangrove fence gate and then another fence. And again, if you have these fences where they're floating, you're going to just break up a block and put them into the stone slabs. But the fence gates themselves should be down below the stone slabs and whatever. And there's going to be doing a whole bunch of this. I should do all of one side and then all of the other side. Wow, what a smart play from me there. It's really showed my brain cells working. Anyway, yeah. The very final one, which is this one, you will just keep bringing the fence gates, or just keep doing alternating fence gates and fences until you're on the end of either side. And are you going to end with a fence gate on both? No, you end with a fence on one side and fence gate on the other. Which will give you this. As for the walls and such, so I guess what we can do is take this final row of stone and just place 2 iron bars extending in on either side. Extend them up with 2 additional rows of iron bars. And then you can actually get rid of the iron bars, get a lycrite carpet and place lycrite carpet on top. We can kind of close off this area. Now, we don't have the underside yet, so what I'm going to end up doing is for this wall of stone, I'm going to bring it all the way up, obviously, since we have that marked. But I'm just going to bring it down basically to where you... the bottom point that you have to, which would be to fill in at least this particular side. So just like in line with the bottom iron bars. And I think I'll actually bring this whole section that particular length. Because you want this wall as well, I guess. Might as well get it out of the way. And I'll try to bring them into the same height. I wouldn't really worry about getting it exactly as I do, because I will explain the height based on some other factors. But yeah, and some of this might have to be destroyed, but we're kind of worrying about that later. I just want to get a lot of the walls filled in before we end. Nice, and then for the other portion over here, it'll be, again, just 1 block outside of the walls, and then it'll just be in line with this particular wall that we marked earlier, which is, just to throw you with another in line with, it would be in line with these, like, iron bars that we just placed a minute ago. And I'll go to this point here. We'll have to go lower at some point. And I guess I'll bring the tough bricks down. I don't really see why not, to the same distance. But yeah, this part goes fairly far down, so... you know, there is that, I suppose, about it. Almost there. Nice. Like that, yeah, and then we'll fill in the ceiling of this next area, which is actually going to be a block and a half above this, so it's just where the ceiling would have left off in the previous room. And it was actually a block higher than what I had made, which is quite nice. But if that is not this part done, there is still more to do before the iron bars. But I do want to check video length and see if I have more time or if that should be the end. We do actually have a bit more time. I thought the first clip was a little bit longer. So, out of what you have, you can actually just clear your inventory. I don't really see the point in keeping it. Get out the following. Stone. Magma blocks. Tough bricks, probably again. Black concrete. Dark oak stairs. Dark oak trapdoors. Stone slabs. Cobbled deep slate. And nether brick slabs. We'll finish off this little area here. So if you head to the open side, you want to make sure that from the stone here, if you have 1 row, which you should for this particular, like, underneath the floor, you'll extend it down an additional 4. From each row. So it'll be uneven, obviously, at the bottom still. Which is, I guess, part of the point. That bottom row you'll bring across with stone to kind of just fill in the underside of this floor. And then I'm going to bring the other walls down as well to fill in the rest of this area. I'm having problems placing this here. So yeah, like that, and then again, these stone walls, along with the tough brick wall, I'll bring down a little bit more. Just so we don't have any gaps. Because gaps are cringe. I'm going to totally trap myself out. I mean, I pretty much already have, so I might as well finish the job. There we go, and I'll have to find my way back in. I love how as we do more of this, it'll get increasingly harder to find your way back in. Anyway, on top of the floor of stone, you're going to place magma blocks. Now, we placed the stone for 2 reasons. One, I believe, at least it used to. I don't know if it still does. I haven't checked. But magma blocks allow light through them, so that is, I guess, a thing. That isn't the main reason, though. The main reason is, yes, I textured the magma. Don't ask questions, but lava is involved, and just to have it already there, we might as well place the stone under it, so we don't have to deal with it later. Cool. If you are looking at the magma section, or like looking off to this side, you want to take the top right-hand stone here. And from it, you want to count down diagonally left by 2, and you'll break this stone and replace it with a black concrete. Extend that down by 2, and then extend each black left by 2. This is the same kind of circular pipe thing we've made a bunch. So you'll place a stair in each corner. It will be upside down in the top 2 corners facing towards each other, and regular in the bottom 2 corners facing towards each other. Place dark oak trapdoors to connect those. At the top and bottom, they should be fairly easy. On these sides, you'll have to just open them. And then off of those trapdoors, you'll place more trapdoors on the outside of them, kind of just against them to make it a little bit more circular. The inside looks very, like, nice circular-wise, but the outside kind of is a little bit rough, but that is okay. Turn to your left to look at this particular stone wall, and on the final 5 rows, so like I guess the 5 coming out of this corner, you're going to break, not the top row stone, but 1 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and replace it with upside down stone slabs. You're then going to break another 5 rows down. Like so. If you don't have the corner row of stone filled in like I do, fill it in now so you actually have that in. And then you'll place black concrete, a block outside of that, to fill in the wall. We have a kind of sort of sphere of black concrete, or cobble deep set, not black concrete. Just below these stone slabs here, if you're still looking at this wall, you want to take the right side and place 3 cobble deep set extending left. Bring the right 2 out a row. And then from the 1 against the wall, you'll go down diagonally forward by 1. Left 2. Back. Back diagonally left. The cobble deep set against the wall, you'll extend down by 2. And with each of those, you'll do the same thing. You'll extend forward diagonally left. Left. Back diagonally left, and then back by 2. You'll take this cobble deep set here on the right below that and extend back diagonally left by 1. Or back diagonally down by 1, not left, I apologize. You'll then go forward diagonally left by 1, for real this time. Left. Back diagonally left, and then back diagonally right. Underneath each cobble deep set block here, you'll place upside down nether brick slabs. Fill in the center, and also just like bring out the corners. So you have a 4x2. You'll extend it left a row, so it almost looks like it's a part of the doorway. And then you'll count out from that with 2 rows of regular nether brick slabs, which will be a half a block lower. And then from that, upside down nether brick slabs, half a block lower. Again, just 1 row. I'm assuming this is some sort of conveyor or like trash chute that just goes straight into lava, but I don't know why it's in a room like this. This doesn't particularly feel like a trash chute to me. I don't know. But, yeah, that is that part done. Now, I want to talk about the texturing of the lava, because it's weird. Stone, again, you know the same drill. For the lava, I textured with the following. Block of resin. Where is it? Oh, it's in... Okay, yeah, there it is. Resin bricks. The aforementioned lava. And glow item frames. I wouldn't ask questions. So it's just, you know, replacing some of them with resin bricks, whatever. I don't know what, again, like, it's... The lava is the only one that I really think is necessary here, because you want the light to shine up, and I just figured I'd make it a little bit more orange than the magma, because the magma has a lot of not orange in it, but yeah. I wouldn't place the lava on the end rows as well where it goes down, because that just causes problems, so. Yeah. I think the lava, you definitely want a lot of it, just so it... I did not realize that would work. I didn't mean to do that. But you do want to make sure that it lights up nicely. And then the glow item frames are just placed on top of some blocks. Something like that. Again, like, if you don't want to worry about all that, don't. But definitely get the lava in, at least. Or you could use ochre frog lights as well, if you want something a little bit less deadly. That also works. Before we end, bamboo trapdoors. Just realized this. So, not the, like, set that goes all the way across, but the one just in front of it, which is this set. You want to place bamboo trapdoors off the underside of all the mangrove. You will keep extending it right until it, hits the wall. And you will also extend it left an additional 2. And then you'll place one more bamboo trapdoor open up against the rest, which would give you that. And once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 64 of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 complete. And that is this part of it done. Now, hopefully next part we'll be able to do the entire sewer section, which really shouldn't take long. Like, it might honestly be 20 minutes of it, because it's a lot of just the mundane same thing. And I'm hoping we can also get the, like, final room of the chase here done, at least this part, the, like, loop. And then, yeah, we'll honestly be on our way from that point to get the hallway and bay room done. But yeah, anyway. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video still, that is not whatever. Honestly, I'll figure it out someday. With that being said, though, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.